Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at KuCoin. And before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but I can tell you it's kind of doing its thing right now, just kind of going sideways between 46 and 47,000, kind of teasing a lot of different scenarios. And that's pretty much what's going on with Crow too. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, just love teaching people how to trade. I've got a trading community if you're interested in joining. Check that out in your own time, of course. I've got Trading Academy, help you from beginner to advanced using, right? So anyone can essentially apply to that. Now, taking a look here at Crow, what's pretty straightforward here is the fact that it's working itself within these resistance and support channels, right? So you can see Fibonacci support at about 55.8, upwards of 58.2, kind of just staying there in that zone for about the last 7 days alone. So that's all well and good. I personally see that as a good thing because we're getting a strong amount of volume accumulation right at a specific price point, right around 58 cents, correction, 54 cents and 55. And that's creating a strong base for Crow, which will allow the price to increase inevitably, right? Because the more volume you get at a specific price point, the stronger that support or resistance zone becomes. So if we get more support closer to 55 cents, which is the lowest point in which the price has gone in the last week, that's a healthy sign. That's a good sign, okay? So we can see that, that's probably going to be a likely benefit here. And I think moving forward, that volume profile will absolutely help us. So just something to consider. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the key indicators here as well. Moving averages, we're still below the 50 and above the 200. That won't change for a while based on its previous momentum. We are under 50 on the RSI, which is traditionally more bearish, right? So yes, you can consider this to be more bearish. Is it going to diverge and start breaking down below 55 cents? I don't believe so. Just based on its momentum, again, it depends on how Bitcoin behaves. If Bitcoin can kind of get a little bit more consistency close to 48, 49, or 50,000, then KuCoin will absolutely break free from it eventually and get okay, right? But when that fear, uncertainty, and doubt is still in the market, until Bitcoin comes away from and stays away from 46,000 for some time, then and only then we're going to be able to see the price increase, right? And you saw that it did very well here in this past span here, right? Those 4 or 5 trading days. And that's because Bitcoin was showing signs of improvement, right? Bitcoin was up closer to 52,000. It got rejected at 52 and the price came down. That's why we're seeing this here. But the fact that the price held at 55 cents and didn't come all the way back down to 48 cents is a testament to its strength. So I think the Crow is going to be in good shape here in the big picture. Try not to overthink it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart and see what's going on. We see a little bit of a sell-off here. There was a 2% correction from Bitcoin here today, just in the last couple of hours. That's likely the reason for that. So we should expect the price to bounce off of 55 and continue to progress upwards. But let's go ahead and take a look at some key indicators here. So let's look at the TD sequential. We came down to a 6 and we're now at a state of consolidation. So that's not really super relevant. We can't really extract much information from that. We do have a bearish divergence here, of course, but it does look like the volume is trying to dissipate there. So we could, again, see that shift in direction, but there's no doubt about it. We're still considered bearish right now, and there's no other way around it. Not going to lie to you, it doesn't look great in that sense, but I do think the macro looks better than the midterm and the micro does, okay? So just note that I think we're still in good shape in the big picture based on its, I guess you could say its movement in the past week and previous, but I'll be honest with you, the 4-hour chart doesn't look amazing. Right. Let's see if the 1 hour gives us any indication of a turnaround. See what the cloud tells us here. We're still under the cloud, of course. We got rejected here essentially right around, 57 cents. And we can see the lagging span is within the price action. So there's literally no buy signals here yet. But what we want to see is for the price to slowly progress sideways. Just say it can come up to about 57 cents. Hold as a support here above the cloud. And then we get the baseline back. Well, actually, no, the conversion line's above the baseline. That's a good sign. That's telling us we might have a shift in direction. But if we get the lagging span, of course, free of any price actions, more so right around here, then we'll be pretty good to go. So we've literally only got 1 out of 3 potential indicators on the cloud telling us that, whereas the conversion line's above the baseline, and that is a positive thing in that sense because it tells us there's that shift in momentum again, right? That's what the conversion line does for us. It's very similar to a MACD convergence, telling us that there's there's this shift that's going to happen soon. And again, the reason why I feel is because we're going to bounce off the support level. It's held very well, and we should see continuation of the upside. So again, to summarize, the micro midterm doesn't look very great for KuCoin, but that pretty much just implies that we should see a shift in a shift turnaround here, so to speak. Because if you have a short position, for example, the cloud is telling us you want to close that position soon. So if you are being told to close a short position, would a long position be on the horizon? In short, yes, it is, but it doesn't mean you want to take position right now because of that. Okay. I always recommend this, and you've heard me say this a million times, I'm sorry, but you've got a dollar cost average if you have the opportunity. So add to your position here. Do I see 55 cents or lower as a price point? I don't think that's possible. Personally, I don't think that's likely. Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop below 46,000, we should be just fine to hold 55 as a support. Okay. So again, that's just kind of where we're at there. Big picture, macro looks better. The micro and the midterm, not so great. But I do think we're pending a turnaround based on the Ichimoku cloud giving us a consideration we want to sell our short position. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a positive sign. So we'll take a little look at KuCoin again tomorrow, see where we're at. But I do personally feel that 55 is the lowest. Go ahead and add to your position now. That'd be perfectly fine. Just don't open a long or like a long position as a day trade, for example, because we don't know specifically. We don't have that confirmation yet. And until we have confirmation, there's no reason to consider taking entry. Just add a little bit at a time, and it's perfectly fine. Okay. Hopefully you found benefit here, of course, and I look forward to getting to know you better if you consider joining my community. Have a great rest of the day. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.